Hi, welcome to Lavender Arts and Crafts. My name is Lisa and today I'm going to show you how to make this peppermint candy Christmas decoration out of paper plates. The items that you're going to need to make this are some paper plates. They can be any size or pattern that you'd like, as long as the back side is plain white. You're also going to need scissors and a pencil, some red paint and a red paint pen or marker, a hot glue gun, some tape and some Christmassy ribbon, a roll of cellophane. This one is 16 inches long, and I recommend that you get one that's 20 or 24 inches long, depending on the size of your paper plate. And then if you're going to be using these outdoors where you want to stick them in the ground, you will need a package of skewers. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is make a pattern for your peppermint triangle. And to do that, you're going to take one of the paper plates and you're going to cut it in half, and then in half again, so you have a quarter of it. And then you're going to draw a kind of curved triangular shape and cut that out of this. So it doesn't have to be a specific perfect shape, just sort of a curved triangle. And it's about half the size of this. So it's about 1/8 of the total paper plate. So then you're gonna take your pattern and you're gonna trace it on the plate 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a cross shape. And you're gonna repeat that for as many plates as peppermint candies you would like. For example, I made 12 of these peppermint candies for my house, and so I traced it on 12 plates. So once you have the pattern drawn on all of your plates, the next thing we're going to do is paint the triangles. Color them in red. I found the easiest way to do this is with paint. I used red acrylic paint, and I actually did 2 coats on each triangle. And then you're going to use either a paint pen or a red marker to do a thin line in between each of your red sections. Now you could use other things to color in the red triangles. You could use a red marker for the whole thing. You could use red crayons, red colored pencils. I do think painting it is the quickest way. If you're doing this with young children, maybe markers would be easier. So you're going to go and paint all of your paper plates, and depending on how many paper plates you have, it might take a little while. But once they're all painted and dry, the next thing you're going to do is glue 2 plates together. Now my peppermint candies were only going to be seen from the front, so I used a plain white paper plate for the back. If yours is going to be seen from multiple sides, then you want to use the peppermint pattern on both sides. And you're just going to put the 2 plates together and glue them. You might want to cut off the rim a little bit if it looks like it's going to show. I used a hot glue gun. I think it's the fastest way to glue it. You could of course use regular glue. You could even staple it if you don't mind the staples showing. So once they are all glued together, the next step is to wrap them all in cellophane. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that your roll of cellophane is long enough. You want it to be a couple inches longer than your plate on each side. So you're going to take the cellophane and unroll it, and you're going to measure out about twice as wide as the paper plate. And then you're simply going to wrap it around your paper plate and tape it in the back. Now if your peppermint is going to be viewed from both sides, then you might want to tape it towards the bottom so that that's not showing. So once you've got it taped, you're going to have some excess on either side, and you're going to scrunch that all together and twist it. Wrap some regular tape around it just to hold it securely. And then you can take some pretty Christmas ribbon. I just use plain red, but you could use whatever kind of ribbon you'd like to tie around the candy on each side. You can even make some little curly cues if you'd like. And if you're gonna just hang this on a wall, then it's finished. If you would like to make some to line your front pathway, or maybe put in front of the bushes, line them up in front of your house, then you're gonna wanna add the skewers. And the way you're gonna do that is take the pointy end of the skewer and you're gonna poke a hole through the cellophane in between the two plates. And then you're gonna take it out and put the flat end inside the paper plates. And I'm gonna do that with a second skewer. The reason I like to use two is because if you just have one, sometimes the wind can hit the peppermint candy just right and it'll sort of spin on the stick. So I'm gonna use two. Once again, I'm going to poke a hole and then flip it around so that the pointy part is down. So now I've got this on the two skewers with the pointy parts ready to just stick into the ground outside in my yard. So there you have it, this very inexpensive and pretty easy craft. You could do red like I did to make peppermint candies. You could also use all different colors if you were going for a Candyland theme. And they're just really easy and cute to make. So I hope you enjoyed making this craft, and stay tuned. I will post a picture at the end of this video of how these look with my yard and my gingerbread house theme for my Christmas decorations. But thanks for joining me, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas.